Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of Heroes of the Mist, your weekly dose of spooky shenanigans in the sunshiny state of Barovia. Well, it's not really sunshiny, I suppose. But I am very excited to be bringing you a brand new D&D live stream here at Geek Unleashed um, with all of my wonderful players. Say hello, wonderful players.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Those of you just tuning in, it has been a long journey coming here. I want to thank everybody who auditioned and interviewed and came on to participate in the stream. I think it's going to be a very special show. I won't get into too much detail, but I do want to thank our sponsors, Roll20 and Metallic Dice Games. Metallic Dice Games has actually given us a set of dice to give away for tonight's stream called Midnight Fantasy, which if that's not, Strahd material, I don't know what is. So I guess before we go ahead and jump in, why doesn't everybody introduce themselves to the Geek Nation for me real quick? Starting with, we'll go with Damon because you're on my left on the screen.
Perfect. Hello, my name is Damon Barnett. I'm a local here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm excited to be here. I have some D&D experience through Adventures League and a couple of homebrew campaigns. And Curse of Strahd has always been one of the modules I've wanted to play through. So I was thankful when got together with Alex and he was explaining to me about this opportunity and ready to be here and play.
And Jonesy, you're above Damon on the screen, so I'll go with you next. We'll just go clockwise down the brocade boxes.
Okay. My name is Stephen Jones, Jonesy, my nickname. I was on the Heroes Inc. Mutants and Masterminds game, and now I'm back for Heroes of the Mist. Huge horror fan, Ravenloft fan, since the early days, before it was a full anything other than one-off module. I'm out in sunny California, and looking forward to playing.
Awesome. Rowan?
Hi, I'm Rowan. I just moved from Columbus, Ohio to Louisville, Kentucky, where I go to school full-time and play D&D now. This is my first D&D campaign ever, so I'm very excited about that. We'll let everyone know that I have 2 kittens and 3 full-grown cats running around the house right now, so they might pop up, and I care more about them than myself, so, I talk about them more. But that's about it.
Awesome. Kevin?
Hey, my name is Kevin Hakes. This is my second streaming game that I'm playing in. I was also in Heroes Inc. with Steve. Also, like Steve, a long-time Ravenloft fan. I'd first played it before it was a campaign setting, when it was a standalone module. And by that point, I was hooked and, was buying all the world setting stuff. And so it's kind of like coming back to Ravenloft and D&D. So looking forward to the adventures to come.
It's going to be something wild. And Andy?
Hello, my name is Andy Jacksetic. I am also here in Columbus, Ohio. You might have seen me. I guest starred a couple of times on Heroes Incorporated, and I've been playing tabletop games for 20 years or so, I think. I run at Origins Game Fair every year for the last 5 years, so got some GM experience, and not so much with 5th edition D&D. I did a lot of 3.5 and 4, so kind of looking forward to my first real outing with 5th edition and Strahd and Ravenloft in general.
Well, it's going to be something spectacular, hopefully. I'm Alex. I'm going to be the Dungeon Master for this wonderful stream with all these wonderful people. I've been with Geek Unleashed since Heroes Incorporated a few months ago, and I'm very excited to be continuing our relationship together. It's great being part of the Geek Nation, and I can't wait to scare and astonish you guys. All right, so I guess without further ado, we're going to go ahead and show you guys the opening cinematic, and we'll get jumping right in. All right, everyone. So with the formalities out of the way, I guess we will go ahead and begin. Somewhere in the depths of a castle shrouded in darkness, far below the towers and parapets, there is a room full of spinning armillary spheres. Flickering torchlights glints off these golden devices as they spin and whir, orbiting each other in lethargic ellipses. Organ music plays, a waltz that fills the chamber. They float and dance around the room as a figure cradles a goblet of red wine. He moves beneath the dancing astrolabes and plants a finger on one. The orb freezes, and he traces its continents with a lazy nail. Etched in golden letters is the name Greyhawk. The man smiles and runs his tongue over two sharp fangs. We descend from the heavens to find a caravan of refugees making their way through the dim forest, trailing out of the March of Bissell, trying to return to their homes in the Grand Duchy of Jeff. Thick fear swirls among the huddled masses, clinging to them as they clutch their meager belongings close. A handful of Bissell soldiers guard the pair of wagons as they lumber through the overcast, dim forest. Two men draw the attention of the speculating figure. Kevin and Jonesy, please describe your characters.
Well, Matthias is old by adventuring terms, in his late 30s. His gear is somewhat worn but well cared for. Doesn't seem a very approachable sort, that sort of look that sours milk. But he's fairly serious about his warcraft, as it were. So as the caravan has progressed, he's been sort of helping out, but probably noticeably more guarded as they approach their destination, or at least what they think is their destination.
And Jonesy?
And meanwhile, Tristan is the exact opposite. Half-elven male, mid-20s or so. Very closely cropped red hair, rust red hair and beard, and decked out in leather that's meticulously cared for. Armed with a rapier, there's a lute slung over his back, and some other instruments among his gear. And sitting there as they're walking along, he's kind of got a couple glass globes out, which are kind of flickering with blue and green light. He's juggling them.
You attract the attention of a couple of the young refugees who rush up to watch as you're juggling these flaming spheres. Go ahead and roll a performance check for me. First roll of the game. Let's see how it goes.
Why is it not? Come on. Well, apparently, it's not gonna happen. Why is this not rolling?
Is it glowing red when you hover over it with your mouse?
Yes.
It rolled for me.
There it goes.
So Tristan, you're kind of going along, and you're trying to inspire these people. I'll let you use the 23 that I rolled because we don't want to start off on a bad note, right? And you're kind of juggling these balls. What do you do as you're performing for these young people?
I'm sitting there juggling and kind of smiling at the kids, and just like this, and flipping them over my hands, feet, over my hands, the back of my hands, and I kiss them.
Nice. Matthias, you do see this happening. It seems to be causing a murmur around among the refugees.
What kind of a murmur?
Like a pleased murmur, like this is the first sort of entertainment they've had in a while.
Okay. Have we entered the dim forest yet?
Yes.
To not cause a scene in front of but like after the performance is over, just sort of wander by and go, unfortunately, a lot more than children are probably aware of your flaming spheres. You might want to keep those under wraps.
Spoiling the fun like always. And with that, he makes them pop away into his satchel. Little sleight of hand.
Nice. So yeah, you pack up things. You guys keep moving. As you and the refugees set up camp for the night, after a couple more hours of wandering through the forest, you guys can hear the sound of organ grinder music waltzing through the trees. And a covered wagon comes into view, led by a procession of colorfully dressed people. They smile and sing, juggling fire and knives as they go. The smell of wine sits heavy on them, along with the succulent scent of cooked meat. The woman driving the wagon stands and waves at your group. She looks like this. And the wagons kind of have this colorful, multi-colored lanterns glowing, dangling from the caravels. And she smiles and she waves at you and says, "Hail, travelers, may we join you for the night? We've gotten quite turned around and could use some advice. We will, of course, share our drink, food, and merriment with you." She's beautiful and vibrant with loose flowing blonde hair. Bells and bangles jingle from her multicolored dress as she waves. The Bissell soldiers wave her over and help the wagon break camp. And the people in the multicolored clothes start spreading out amongst you guys. How do you react?
How many days into the forest are we?
You're only the first day into the forest.
Okay. But they were coming in the opposite direction we're traveling?
Yeah, they were. Which, Matthias, you do think is abnormal.
Yes.
Usually it would be giants and orcs and all sorts of terrible things coming this direction from the forest.
Yes. And yet here they are, a lone wagon. Apparently unmolested. I'll keep an eye on them from a distance.
Okay.
I'm going to go way over. Greetings. And do the tip the hat and tip in the hand. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for welcoming us. It's been quite a long road for us. Where exactly are we?
A couple days out. You're in the dim forest.
Oh, the dim forest. I thought we were looking for the misty forest. We seem to have gotten quite turned around.
Well, nothing we can stress over tonight. So take a load off and relax and enjoy the fire. And
please join us in our merriment. He'll hand you a big, heavy wineskin.
Oh, well, thank you.
And he'll pull out his little handheld accordion and he'll start playing music. And that seems to lift the spirits of the refugees as you guys sort of hunker in for the evening. Tonight will prove to be interesting, if nothing else. Meanwhile, thunder crashes outside the castle. Hail pelts the roof like the hammering of so many nails. The figure throws his cape back and twirls to the next armillary sphere. Forgotten Realms, it says on the plaque. A blood red line colors the map, starting from some place called Baldur's Gate and racing past the misty forest. Another plaything to meet. A lone traveler beats a path through the downpour. His boots sink into the mud and muck with each squelching footfall. It's been a hard road, one that will prove more difficult with time. Andy, please describe your character.
So you see Tyrion, the hood of his green cloak thrown up over his shaggy black hair to ward off as much of the rain as possible. He carries a heavy shield on his left arm, and on his right hand, his right arm is thrown up over his shoulder with a heavy satchel that he's carrying with him. He is plodding through this rain and this muck as though there's something driving him forward, although the stoop of his shoulders suggests a very world-weary stance.
Nice. And you are indeed making your way through this driving rain. You've been on the road for about 2 days now, and the weather has not let up the whole time you've been making your way up the Sword Coast. Go ahead and give me a perception check. All right, with a 12, you're sort of wandering up the path, and you think you see a lantern waving in just up the road a ways. It looks like it's not waving to get your attention, but it's being buffeted in the heavy wind by somebody who's traveling the opposite direction that you're coming.
I work my way further from the path where that lantern is coming and try to hunker down in between some of the roots of the trees, try to get a look at whoever may be coming before they can possibly see me.
Cool. Go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage. So it should ask you before you roll if you want to roll with advantage, just because of the heavy rain and the good hiding spot. Oh, you rolled the same thing.
Wow.
It is your fate.
Works for me.
So you're hunkered down, you're hiding back in the tree branches, and you see the figure carrying the lantern comes sort of trudging down the road. There's a large man wearing priestly vestments, and you see he does have a holy symbol from the Order of the Radiant Guard, and he has a couple of soldiers with him.
Of course, just won't leave me be, Tyrion thinks in his mind, and he begins looking for a way to move further into the darkness that the forest and the rain abides him.
All right, give me one more stealth check since you're moving away. Make the cleric in the heavy armor sneak away.
Yeah, really.
Do you guys hear the hail pelting off that shield? What do you think that is? Oh, it's a mailbox. Everybody knows that. You seem to sneak away without incident. But as you're sneaking away, you do sort of overhear over the rain and the din. The large, portly man says, "I could have sworn Alara came this way. Where could she have gone?"
Tyrion's face twists with revulsion at the mention of that name. He stops for a brief moment and then decides it is not worth it to go back, and keeps heading further into the darkness of the forest.
Awesome. So you continue on, muscles aching as you strain through each muddy step. The rain turns to hail, which planks off your shield like so many bolts. You see the glow of another lantern in a window just off the path. But this one is odd. It's multiple colors, reds and greens and blues. And ahead, you see there's just a row of wagons nestled up against the trees. A man in a colorful doublet waves you over. Says, "Get out of this infernal rain before you catch your death. Join us in revelry."
My life doesn't have much in the way of revelry, but if you're offering a place to get out of the rain, I might take you up on it. What's the cost?
Oh, it's free. The hospitality of my people is legendary. Please, come.
Nothing's ever free in life. Whatever.
And he kind of, leads you up to the central wagon. And they sort of sit you down in the middle of this wagon, and they hand you a bowl of steaming stew and a goblet of wine. And a beautiful woman with loose blonde hair and glittering jewelry smiles at you. She looks a lot like the woman that Matthias and Tristan saw. She says, "My name is Tanya, stranger. We are the Vistani. Welcome to our camp."
I'm Tyrion. I guess thanks are in order.
Pleased to meet you, Taryn. By the way, I don't suppose you could tell us where we are exactly. It's, we've been trying to find the dim forest, and it seems to be not around here. None of the locals know what I'm referring to.
I don't recall what it is you're speaking of either. This is the Misty Forest.
Oh, we are in the wrong forest. Well, no matter. Anywhere with a warm roof and a nice fire can be a pleasant place to stay. Tonight will prove to be interesting, if nothing else. Meanwhile, somewhere below the armillary chamber, a man cries out his last scream, succumbing to the tortures of the castle's tormentors. The figure takes a deep draught of his wine as he steps between the whirling spheres once more. The third one is a younger world, one not known to the dark powers, but one which may yet provide glorious distraction from the monotony of eternity. Its plaque reads Landolin. The figure's view races over mountains and valleys before coming to rest on a merchant caravan descending a steep rocky cliff. Their path leads down into the wandering woods. A small gnome cracks his whip over the woolly rhinoceroses that pull his cart, and a team of slate-faced dwarves walk alongside, guiding the great beasts down. The tiefling wanders along with them, carrying a bag of books and various odds and ends. Rowan, please describe your character.
My character is from a town somewhere. She grew up as a teacher's kid. So she is very studious and comes from a library that was just burnt down. And she thinks she's very quiet unless, she's taking things in and studying them and trying to figure out what's going on. I think.
It's up to you, whatever you think.
What else do I say? This is very nerve-wracking. Sorry, breaking character.
Don't be nervous.
Great.
You're sort of studious and you're traveling along with this merchant caravan. There's a gnome sitting on top of the wagon where the woolly rhinoceroses are pulling, and he's cracking his whip, and he has this bulbous nose and this long coat that's covered in gears and cogs, and he's got these goggles he's wearing. His name is Shanley Sandstone, and he kind of looks back at you and his long twirled mustache, and it's nice of you to join us on this travel, Lily.
Thanks for having me.
It's not often I get to spend time with somebody who's not these dwarves. They're not very good conversationalists. And one of the dwarves just goes,
I say back, I can try to be better, I guess.
You're already better just by not harumphing at me. And then one of the rhinoceroses harumphs. He said, "Where did you say you were going again?"
We are going to the Misty Mountains?
Wandering Woods.
Wandering Woods. That one.
Misty Mountains is a different realm that a hero is not coming to represent. And he's kind of, chatting with you as you guys are descending the mountain. The dwarves are the ones who are sort of guiding the rhinos down. It's a very precarious cliff. And as they're sort of guiding it down and he's not paying attention, looking over his shoulder to talk to you, you hear a crack and you see one of the rhinos runs free of the wagon. What would you like to do?
I would like to try to stop it so it doesn't go too far away because we need it.
How would you like to do that?
If I can remember my spells, do I have any handy for that? No, that doesn't seem like a good idea. Can I run after it?
Yeah, you sure can.
Okay.
If you want to run after it, I'm going to ask you to make an athletics check.
Okay. So I roll a d20 for that, correct?
Yes. Yeah. If you open your screen, you can just click on the little athletics thing, and when it shines red, and it should roll for you on your character sheet.
On the D&D Beyond thing.
Yep.
And roll 20.
Or roll 20. Sorry, roll 20.
And then this is confusing me. Sorry, this one is like. Where is my character sheet? Oh, so there it is. There it is. I found it. So, and then I click on.
You click on athletics.
Athletics.
And it'll ask if you want to roll with advantage.
So I do, I assume?
Yes. You do not. You want to just do a normal roll.
Normal roll. Okay. Thank you.
All right. You got a 16. So you go taking off down the path after this rhinoceros. You're running faster than the dwarves because you have kneecaps. And you catch up to the rhinoceros. What do you want to do with it?
I want to stop it. Like, try to. Well, let's see. Isn't there a spell for like trying to talk to animals? Like,
there is, but I don't believe you have that spell.
I don't.
There's a couple of things you can do. You could try to intimidate it into doing what you want it to do. You can use your thaumaturgy spell to make a tremor on the ground that makes it stop. You can do.
I want to do that. That sounds good.
All right, go ahead and give me an Arcana check, or Arcana check for those who are caramel people instead of caramel people. All right, the rhinoceros just seems to get more annoyed about that. The ground begins to rumble, and it lowers its horn, and it sort of wheels around on you, and it stomps at the feet.
Great controversy of the night is the caramel.
I think I would try to like yell at it or talk to it, like somehow, like I guess the word would be intimidate it.
Okay, yeah, make an intimidation check for me. Nice, nat 20.
Yay!
What do you say to this rhinoceros to get it to back off from charging at you?
Stop! Don't hurt me. We just need you to go back to your other rhinoceros friends, please. Calm down. It's okay.
It sort of looks at you with a sideways eye, the way a dog does when you yell at it for doing something it's not supposed to. And it stops in place, and the dwarves catch up, huffing and puffing. And they say, "How did you do that?"
I'm just lucky, I guess. I say back.
Well, great, I guess. Shanley pulls the wagon up, and they load the rhino back into the bridle, and you guys take off. You and the dwarves reach the wooded valley after much frustration and effort. The rhinos snort with annoyance again, and Shanley decides it might be a good idea to give the whole company a rest. So you guys break down your packs, and almost as if you predicted it, mist begins to coalesce and sweep over your little camp. You hear a howl on the wind, or maybe it was your overactive imagination. Music fills the night sky as another wagon rumbles into view. Two muscular black horses and shimmering jeweled bridles and multicolored caparisons lead a troop of laughing drinking people. They stop when they see your camp and rush over to you, hoisting heavy wineskins and smoked meats. A beautiful and vibrant woman with loose flowing blonde hair waves you down. Her jewelry catches the firelight as she says, "Fair dwarves and mademoiselle, please, we bid you let us join you. It's been too long since we have seen the company of dwarves." Shanley nods, a glimmer of suspicion on his bulbous nose. What do you do, Lily?
I am apprehensive to let her join. I ask who she is and her name, where she comes from.
My name is Tanya of the Vistani, and I am. Well, we are traveling a long way. We're actually looking for the Where are we looking for? We are looking for. Hold, please. The Silent Forest. Do you
Tell
know of
her
such a place?
I tell her she's in the wrong place, right?
Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
Wandering Woods.
that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, I tell her she's in the wrong place and to go away. Like, go find. Maybe do you want a map? I can offer a map, but I'm not too keen on her joining us. I feel not totally kosher.
Shanley kind of looks over at you and he's like, "They've got free wine. What do you mean they can't join us?"
We're in strange territory, and I heard wolves howling. You know how I feel about wolves right now.
Well,
especially.
I think we should join in the safety of numbers. Wolves don't attack large groups of people.
I'm apprehensive, but I let him. It's his caravan of people, so I kind of rescind and give him a okay, I guess, kind of back. The thing he told me he didn't like that people do.
A harumph.
Yeah. I harumph back with a swish of my tail on accident. I don't have that much control over it, but obviously annoyed, but I rescind.
Yeah, your friend the rhinoceros sends you a high five mentally.
Yes. Best friends with the rhinoceros now, actually. So.
Well, tonight will prove to be interesting, if nothing else. Meanwhile, the figure drinks deeply from his goblet. Anticipation shivers through his form as the thought of testing himself against mighty heroes excites his mind. A game of cat and mouse to the bitterest of ends, and this close to his wedding day, a gift for his bride-to-be. But there is one champion the figure does not know about. The shadows swell in the armory chamber, and a presence flies far and fast from the darkened castle. The shadow passes over mist-swept forest, shuttered buildings, and a snow-swept mountain heading west. It passes through a wall of fog and finds itself in another realm, much like its home, a realm pervaded with dread, ruled by another dark power. A small band of peasants move under cover of night, hoping to avoid the gaze of this dread master. They pass through the silent forest, hiding all but the dimmest of lights. But there is one among them, hoping against hope for redemption, desperate to find his master. Damon, if you would please describe your character.
Absolutely. So Beetlejaw the Gray is a man who has silvery ivory gray skin tones. He kind of walks with a little bit of a hunch, as if he has severe back pain. He has a very, very worn breastplate that looks like it's been handed down from generation to generation, and a sword that would match. Shrouding his body is a long, flowing cloak that has a top collar that would reach up to just about his eye line. He also wears a wide-brimmed hat that covers most of his face. He walks very shudderly, almost as like a slight waddle. And if you were to see him, you would not think that he is someone who is kind or open or welcoming.
Awesome. So yeah, you're guiding this small band of peasants through the silent forest. You know of a Vistani camp in the area where they will be able to find sanctuary. They've sort of been giving you a wide berth as you've been making your way. Just you make them nervous. For some reason, I can't imagine why.
I couldn't imagine either.
And as you guys are making your way through the silent forest, this sort of creeping mist creeps along the ground, and you hear one of the children of the peasants begins to sob and weep openly, very, very noisily. Please give me a perception check.
Just normal roll.
Yep, just a normal roll. Perception. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I probably should have given you advantage because I keep forgetting what you are. Sorry about that. Anyway, 22 is enough. You
I would
hear
hope so.
you hear horse hoofs coming up the path this way. Horse hooves coming up the path this way.
Coming towards us, coming from behind us.
Coming from behind you in your direction.
Thank you. So I have a
The
child
rider-
screaming near me and horse hooves coming up.
Yep. What would you like to do?
So first I would turn around and try to determine where the horse hooves are coming from. I'm guiding these peasants. That's my first priority.
Yeah, it looks like it's coming right up the path behind you guys. You think it might be either a bounty hunter or somebody who is looking for these people. It sounds urgent.
Is the leader of this peasant group anywhere in close proximity to me?
Yeah, he's got his hand on the child's shoulder and he's, shh, shh. We can't let the race find us. If they find us, we'll all be dead. Shh. I know, I'm so afraid. And I don't want to do this anymore.
Sir, please silence your child. And then Beetlejaw would head to the back of the caravan and call out, "Go on ahead. I'll meet up with you."
Well, I will see if the child quiets up. High or low, Beetlejaw?
Hi.
The kid will not be quiet.
Yeah, no. At first I thought it was out 20. I was like, yes. And then I saw it out 100. I was like, no.
But the leader sort of picks the kid up and they start taking off down the path. And as they run off, you see that was the last moment before this rider comes around the bend of this path, and he is thundering down upon you with this gnarled, rotted old skeletal horse, wearing just this breastplate of armor with a long black cape trailing off behind him. And he has a long black mace in his hand. And he seems to have noticed you. What would you like to do?
I would call out for the rider to halt.
The rider calls back out to you, and the rider says, "We know of you, son of Richten, destroyer of monsters. We will kill you." And he raises his mace to come down and hit you with his horse. Well, he's going to hit you with the mace riding on the horse.
Better be hit him with the horse.
Transposition. He's now riding his mace while wielding his horse.
Oh, but he gets a natural one to hit. Ooh. Beetlejaw, what awesome thing do you do to unhorse this rider?
Beetlejaw would raise his shield and attempt to club the rider from the horse. A non-fatal blow, but enough to dismount him.
Yeah, he comes riding up with the mace, and you're a wall of muscle and angst, and you just smack him with the shield, and he flies off the back of the horse. When the horse separates from him, the horse does descend and collapse into a pile of bones. And he looks at you. What would you like to do? It is your turn.
I would call out to him and try to reason with him. Say, "Sir, there is no reason for this to come to violence. Can we please talk this over before it goes any further?"
Please give me a persuasion check. Or intimidation. Intimidation, because you unhorsed him.
Normal?
Yes. He stands up and he says, "My loyalties are to the Dread Lord Darkon. You cannot dissuade me."
Well, I'm sorry, my friend, but that it had to come to this. But prepare to meet your end.
Awesome. And you're free to make an attack.
Great. So I will swing at him with longsword. Is there a cute little trick on roll 20 just for swing?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you go similar to
Click
making
longsword.
a skill check. You just click on longsword and it'll roll that and the damage for you automatically.
Excellent. It does not seem to want to do that.
Why are you like this, Rolt?
Yeah, it like puts a cursor in there like it wants me to type something. I click on longsword.
It's working for me. That's weird. Does the whole thing light up red when you're hovering over it with your mouse?
Longsword, no.
What happens if you click on that?
It like the blinking cursor goes
And then
between R and D.
press enter, and then hover over it.
Same thing.
Yeah.
The red has to be core.
Oh, is it on core? Up near the top of the screen, right above your personality traits. When you click on that, what does it look like?
Red. Core is red.
Core is red. Okay, and it's still not letting you roll.
Oh. It did something different. Hold on. Yeah, clicking on the. Keeps expanding and then like minimizing on me.
Because a little screen shows up behind that.
Is there a little screen that pops up behind your character sheet? Like if you
Okay,
X
got
out
it.
your nice. Okay. Ooh, 23 to hit, yeah. So you dispatch this guy, Beetlejaw. How does it go down?
So we will plunge the longsword directly into his chest and we will push up. Splitting his skull.
Nice. And you catch up with your peasants. As you
Can I
guys sort of
inform them the enemy has been disposed of.
that brings a palpable sense of relief to the group as you guys are moving along. And you guys keep moving down the trail, keeping low and watching the stragglers in your group, until you see the multicolored lanterns of the Vistani wagons, blue, green, and red beacons of safety and light in this accursed forest. The Vistani take your party in. They pass out food and wine and gather around the fire to trade stories. A beautiful, vibrant woman with loose flowing blonde hair steps forward to tell the first story. And each of you has come to basically the same Vistani woman. Not at the same time, but each of you, this story is being told as you guys are gathered in your various Vistani camps throughout the cosmos and the multiverse. And this Vistani woman, Tanya, she says, "There was once a great tyrant who ruled over his lands with brutal efficiency. He had a passion for logic and believed that all evil was the result of mistaken reasoning. Therefore, he decreed that anyone convicted of a crime would be sentenced to death unless they could state 3 incontrovertible facts." And as Matthias and Tristan, as you guys are sort of listening to the story and staring into the fire, across the fire from you, you see a man in a soaking wet green cloak with a shield over his back, devouring some stew and listening seemingly to the same story. It happened to be the case that a Vistani caravan passed through this man's kingdom, and that a knight from the tyrant's personal guard took it upon himself to attempt to rob them. In the morning, the knight was found dead in the forest, and the tyrant's guards seized the leader of the caravan. They brought him before the throne. And Tyrion, as you're listening, you look across the way and you think you see a tiefling woman sitting up against a woolly rhinoceros listening to a story. She has a look of distrust in her eyes, very far off and distant. The tyrant spoke to the chieftain. "You are responsible for the death of my knight, for it was either you or those under your command have killed him. You know the law. Speak 3 incontrovertible truths, or your life is forfeit." Lily, as you're listening, you see across the way there is a man bundled in cloaks with a large hat, sort of staying away from the people around him, but listening to this tale. The chieftain thought for a moment and replied, "Well then, I will fulfill the law. Friends, my first truth is this: I am a killer." The tyrant replied, "If this were false, then you would be here falsely convicted, and thus it would be unjust of the law to execute you. But the law cannot be unjust, and so you must be speaking the truth." "My second truth," said the chieftain, "is that I am displeased to be here." A guilty man would be displeased to be brought before the law because he knows he has been caught, and an innocent man would be displeased to be brought before the law because he knows that guilty man has escaped justice. Therefore, this must be true. My third truth, said the chieftain, is that I will never return to this room. If you are executed, you will never return to this room because you will be dead. But if you are not executed, then it may be and it may not be that you will never return to this room. Therefore, if I order you executed, I am making your statement true, and you will have spoken 3 truths. And so if I order your execution, I will be breaking my own law by killing a man who has spoken 3 truths. Angry at having been outwitted, he turned to his guards. Release the Vistana. And all of you, as this story is being told, you see mist percolating around the campground. You see flashes of these other individuals that you've seen flickering through the fire, and as the Vistani pass the wine around and keep talking, Tanya continues her story. She says the chieftain returned to his caravan, and that night the tyrant sent his guards to kill the Vistani. However, the Vistani caught wind of their approach and were able to ambush them, slaying them all. The next morning, the tyrant awoke to find himself surrounded by armed Vistani. The chieftain approached him. You have sent your guards to kill us. Therefore, you are responsible for our attempted murder. According to your law, your life is forfeit unless you speak 3 incontrovertible truths. The tyrant, thinking quickly, spoke. My first truth is that I am a killer. My second truth is that I am displeased to be here. My third truth is that I will never return to this room. False, false, and false, said the chieftain, for your guards failed to kill us, meaning that you are not a killer. You are in your own home, so you are not displeased to be here, but rather are displeased that we are here with you, and you will never leave this room, for it is to be your tomb as well as your sleeping chamber. With that, the chieftain turned his back, and the other Vistani stabbed the tyrant to death and left him on his bed. The caravan left that night, and no Vistana has been seen in that land for many years since. You each hear this tale and spend an evening in the Vistani's care. They pass out food and drink to your heart's content and regale you with astounding tales and wondrous music, until eventually each of you drifts off to sleep. Lily, as you are getting fitful sleep in the mist that you knew would come, somehow you have returned to that night at the library. Smoke stings your eyes, and the stench of your colleague's blood weighs heavy on your soul. The wolves howl in the distance as the flames consume your life's work. The muscles in your shoulders tear and snap as you try to drag your mangled body to safety. All of that pain is new again, but something is different. One of the wolves stands before you, holding your young sister by the hair. He snarls at you and drags her, kicking and screaming, from the wreckage. An old woman sits amidst the fire and devastation. She points at you and fans a deck of cards on the ground before her. Come to Madame Eva. There you will find your answers. You awaken, and your scars burn like they have in years. Tristan, in your dream, you are standing on one half of a brilliant golden scale. You masterfully spin your fire, dazzling a phantom audience. They applaud you, but each peal of laughter and roar of adoration causes the scale to tip, pushing you higher into the air with their praise. Your stomach sinks as you realize that each reaction of the crowd isn't just pushing you higher, it's thrusting you towards the sharpened gold tines of a great stag. The first antler sinks into your shoulder, spilling your hot blood on the scale below. Your injury pushes the crowd to a fever pitch, and they begin giving you a great ovation. One by one, the horns dig into you, torso, throat, eyes. Before your vision is darkened forever, you see an old woman in the crowd. She holds a deck of cards and says, "Come to Madame Eva. There you will find your balance." You awaken with the taste of blood in your mouth. Beetlejaw, you stand on the moon-swept beaches of your youth. Your mother and father standing behind you, one hand on both of your shoulders. Go, son. Enjoy the splendor this world has to offer. We will be right behind you. You take off, feet free in the sand. The wind is cool on your naked face. Your disguise is all but gone. For once, you were wearing comfortable clothes and feel free in your skin. You turn back to urge your parents to join you, but you are appalled at the sight. Ben Richten is there, stone-faced in his black duster and hat. He holds a silver dagger in one hand and a noose in the other. Such is the fate of monsters, he says as he drives his blade between your father's ribs. You sprint to save your mother, but he slashes her throat. You skid in the sand, trying to break and run, but he's on you like lightning. The noose is around your neck and he pulls it tight. You struggle, feeling the fight and the life fade from you. The only good monster is a dead one. With the final fleeting moments of air you have left, you see an old woman standing in the waves. She plucks cards out of the surf and says, "Come to Madame Eva. There you will find your guidance." You awaken, gasping for air. Tyrion, you are standing in the office of your high priest. You don't remember why you've been called here, but dread permeates your body. This room was once a comfort, but now the decorations and religious icons seem scornful, judgmental. The priest enters, flanked by 4 other clerics. Each have come armed with a red-hot brand and cudgels. One has a set of iron manacles. The priest shouts, "How could you betray our order after everything we've done for you? The life we have allowed you to live. Treason is not something we take lightly." You go to respond, but you notice that where your mouth should be is smooth, naked flesh, and none of the clergy have ears to even listen to your plea. The clerics gather around you and hold you down. You struggle, but their strength is too much. Their hands, calloused from the forges, close around your limbs and tear away your shirt. The high priest, madness in his eyes, takes the brand. "We brand you before your execution, that our God might know you as a traitor and condemn you accordingly." The hot metal sears your flesh. You hear it sizzle. Feel the nerves snuff out in an instant, but you cannot scream. An old woman lurks in the hall just beyond your brothers and sisters, shuffling a deck of cards. She whispers, "Come to Madame Eva. There you will find your truth." You awaken with hot, boiling pain in your shoulder. Matthias, you've been lying on this battlefield for days. The giants came so suddenly. None of the Duke's armies were prepared. It was a massacre. Your horse was killed in the melee, and the rotting carcass of your mare has left you pinned with a broken leg. You were knocked unconscious by the fall, but the stench of your comrades' bodies roused you. For days now, you've struggled to free yourself, moving slowly, methodically as to not attract the bands of orc warriors or giants. You've smelled the cooking flesh of your fellow soldiers and heard the great grindstones the giants have used to turn them into meal for bread. The damnable thing is the scent has caused your stomach to rumble. Hunger is a dreadful thing. Each time you salivate, your soul hurts for the heinous thought. Why couldn't you have died like so many others? Why did you survive? Except this time, that wasn't your thought. The voice came from the body beside you. A young man with most of a handsome face and blonde hair, his blue eyes staring glassy and wrathful into yours. His dismembered jaw springs free from the socket, and he asks again, "Why did you survive?" His rotten tongue, half-eaten by crows, sloths out of his mouth. The question again. This time he's joined by the other mutilated bodies around him. "Why did you survive?" They move on you, crawling on shattered limbs or being dragged by their seeping organs through the mud. "Why did you survive?" An old woman stands just out of reach. She looks at you with pity in her eyes and places a deck of cards upon your chest. "Come to Madame Eva. There you will find your purpose." You awaken with the feeling of hands all over you and hunger in your stomach. Each of you wakes up in your various states of discomfort and find that you are not where you fell asleep. For one, it is still nighttime, or it is night again. You're not sure how long you've slept, only that it was not restful. The camp is gone. The Vistani are gone. You are lying in a crossroads with a gnarled tree beside you, a signpost with 4 directions in the middle of the crossroads, and a thick mist percolates to the east of you, and 4 equally confused strangers rouse around you. You guys are, I'm going to change the map for the first time if you guys want to check on Roll20. You guys are here. What would you like to do?
It's still black.
Yeah, I don't see anything yet.
Oh,
Reveal map.
did that work?
Nope.
I see
Yeah,
something.
a
It's
little
kind
bit.
of gray. It's very dark. What is on the sign?
When you look up at the sign, Matthias, you see that there are signposts with 4 directions. 3 of the signposts, the one to the east, the north, and the south, are blank. And the one to the west is a question mark.
That's most curious. Do I recognize Tristan from the old camp?
Yes, you do.
All right.
You guys kind of wake up beside each other.
Gear, stuff.
You guys have your equipment with you.
Okay.
Look around. I mean, this doesn't look like where we were. Does it look like the dim forest?
It does not look like the dim forest whatsoever. And you guys from Greyhawk, you notice that there's only one moon in the sky.
That's
and I
not
can't
good.
get the fog of war to go away for some reason. Polygon reveal. Let's try that. Oh, I guess the map's not super important.
Yeah, sure. So I'm gonna start digging in my bag for like one of my books.
Lily,
try to
you're
help
over
me
by
there.
the tree. Tristan and Matthias, you guys are on the north side of the crossroads. Beetlejaw, you're on the west side. And Tyrion, you actually wake up at the base of the signpost.
So I recognize Tristan. There are 3 other strangers, only one of whom appears to be human.
Yes.
All right, so sort of get up rather guardedly. I'm ready my shield. I'm not going to draw steel just yet. But this doesn't look good. I sort of look to Tristan to see if he's sort of getting to his feet. And
Yeah, I'm getting to my feet, and my hand is resting on the hilt of my rapier. Not drawn, but ready in case. This be damned.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted those people. Wait a second. Who are all of you?
do we
Where are
understand
we?
what he says?
Yes, you guys do understand what he says.
Where are we?
That seems to be the great mystery. That signpost above you isn't very helpful. This is not where we were earlier this evening.
I would be retreating into the southwest woods, as these are humans who I've had bad experiences with before, and I'm not getting involved in this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be too keen to like go in there until I have some sort of like information, because I've kept to myself for a long time because of bad interactions with humans. So I too am just kind of like trying to stay hidden and looking through my books.
Both of you guys go ahead and roll stealth checks for me.
Matthias, I think that they're in the same boat that we're in. So
Yes. And it's not.
Will the other 3 guys please roll perception checks for me?
Uh-oh, gotta check out that character sheet. Here we go.
normally when I wake up like this, I'm usually by myself.
Is there a shortcut key to
You wake up like this
character
often?
sheet?
Not,
Sorry. No humor in Ravenloft, I know, but it's right there. All right.
well,
Perception.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I know there's a map reveal piece, and I've revealed the whole map, but it's just not cooperating with me.
Layer? You know that layer?
Yeah, I'm on the map where. I mean, your guys' tokens are all weird and foggy too. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah,
I don't even
Matthias-
see our, I don't
can't see
see
any
our
tokens.
tokens.
I'm not. There's no. There's. Spoiler alert, there's no fight plan for this area unless you guys start one.
Challenge accepted. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, ready, set, go.
Tyrion and Matthias, you do see both of them trying to slink off. Tristan, you see Lily trying to sneak off.
Madam, please wait.
Hmm.
Innocent people don't run.
I stop, turn around slowly. Trying to decide if I would use some sort of intimidation or not. Probably not yet. I probably would just turn around and, kind of put my hands up a little bit. I am just trying to figure out where I'm at.
I will step to the cross, like into the center of the crossroads. I have my shield out, but I don't have any weapons drawn, and just sort of motion for silence and gesture them to come in, just trying to look non-threatening.
Is our would-be companion still leaning up against the signpost? Or is this...
I'm getting myself up while trying to dig through my bag to see if anything's missing.
I am definitely posted up behind a tree where I can see you all, but hopefully you can't see much of me, while making sure that my outfit is still concealing my appearance, and hand is on the hilt of my sword.
With that, I'm lifting my hands up and kind of walking towards our would-be companion. And greetings, friend. Allow me to introduce myself. I guess one of us needs to start. My name is Tristan. I hail from the city of Greyhawk. Kind of looking to see if there's any kind of recognition when I say Greyhawk.
Most of you have no idea what that is.
It's talking to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Talking generally, like kind of like
Okay.
in the crowd.
This is where I need to like draw figures on who's. I need like. I think I would, say, I've never heard of that. My name is Lily, and I don't want to fight if you don't. Kind of relying heavily on my natural charisma to help make sure he believes me.
Would you like to? Are you rolling a deception check, or do you genuinely mean you?
No, I genuinely mean it. I'm just like
Cool.
apprehensive internally, and know that I'm generally a charismatic person when I do talk, or a charismatic tiefling when I do talk to humans. So I'm just hoping that it stays true, even though I'm in a strange land.
Nice.
With that, I kind of do a little nod. A pleasure to meet you, my lady.
Not to be standoffish, but we are in a strange place, and so talking loudly may not be a good idea. My name is Matthias, and I suggest we come close enough to speak without shouting and minimize our chances of discovery by someone outside this immediate group. That's why I'm sort of standing there at the crossroads.
I nod and agree and walk toward you.
Asleep and helpless. I'm pretty sure if anyone was around, they would have killed us by now. Just saying.
I don't
The
want
night
to
is young, Tristan.
I agree with the idea of trying to be quiet since we don't know where we are, and just continue to get a little closer slowly.
I remain silent and I'm just observe, not moving from my spot.
Do we notice him up there?
Yeah, after Tyrion and Matthias pointed him out, you guys all sort of see him over there. It's kind of hard to tell who or what he is exactly. He's covered in this high-collared cloak with a hat pulled down low, and he's wearing this old beat-up breastplate.
And I think I would ask one of them if they notice him, like to double check, because I'm not like the natural fighter here. So I ask if one of these other guys notices and what they intend to do about him.
If he's content to stay over there, then let him. At this point, he doesn't seem to be a harm, but there's 4 of us and there's 1 of him. If need be, we might be able to defend ourselves.
Maybe he's just as lost as we are.
That would likely be the case, but he doesn't seem too willing, and not that I blame him. My name is Tyrion.
Tyrion.
I think, did I see all of you around a campfire with a bunch of multicolored clothing men and women last night?
Tanya. Does that name sound familiar to you?
Ah, the charming woman from last night. Yes.
Why is it always women that give me trouble?
Charming is a word for it, yes. I was with her. Were you guys too?
Strange things are afoot. They came from a direction people shouldn't be coming from in the dim forest.
What's the
Strange
dim
and troubling
forest?
dreams, and then we wake up here.
So I remember her saying that she was somewhere that we were in a certain woods, and she said she was looking for a different place that was not where we were, so she was lost. Do you guys remember anything about?
I had the same experience.
Yeah.
Well, we are standing on the crossroads, so.
I think we should really get that other guy to come over here. Maybe he was with her too, and
Seems
something to add to
reluctant
this.
follow. I think for safety's sake, we should not stay in this place where we were brought to by some. I'm not skilled with arcane knowledge, so I'm not sure how our arrival happened, but we're here, and I think staying where we were placed might not be safe. Now, this weird signpost, again, I'm getting that bad feeling. 3 empty signposts and 1 with a question mark. At least the one with the question mark seems to indicate a different direction from the others. Hey, I see tokens.
Well,
What are these?
I see him on the Twitch stream, but I don't see him on Roll20 yet.
I think you guys need to refresh your roll 20s, but there's I'm not too worried about it.
What are
Okay.
they for?
Signposts usually for telling us direction.
No, the tokens.
The tokens are just your characters.
Oh, okay.
I'm just staying in character tonight.
Wow.
When it's
Okay,
time
I
to
guess
go-
we're fighting already.
When it's time to go for virtual dice, then we'll need our tokens to sort out who's and the what's.
Okay. Okay.
So maybe it's too obvious. Maybe it plays into whatever bizarre road we've been set on. But I mean, the question mark at least is a direction.
So
distinct
I
from the
may
others.
interject if we're talking arcane knowledge. I'm not going to call myself an expert, but I'm not going to say that I don't know anything about it. So I can look into some things or think about it, but I, for now, would probably venture toward the question mark. I don't like blank signs.
Who puts up a signpost with 3 blanks anyway?
Maybe they faded.
Doesn't even look like anything was written on them to begin with.
So which way is the question mark? South, you said?
West.
West.
West is where the question mark is. Yes.
All right. So since we kind of, I don't have control of my token.
We'll head to the.
I will try to stride like 10 feet to the west just to get closer to the mystery character. Saying, look, friend, I'm not sure what brought you here, but we're moving off to the west if you care to join the party. There's safety in numbers. I don't know. I would stay in a strange place like this all by myself, regardless of what you've got going on.
As
So
I look
Beetlejaw,
around
before you
and
answer,
kind of check out my surroundings. Go ahead.
before you answer, you sort of notice as you're looking over the shoulder of this strange man, the mist to the east of you begins to advance, pushing up the road towards you. In the center of the mist, you see a figure all in shadow and smoke. Its red eyes shine out of the fog. There's cruelty in them, cruelty you have never imagined, a void which seems to drain all hope and vitality from you. Its will and malice presses on your psyche, compelling you to run. It looks like this. And everybody else can see this too, but he was our point of view character for a second.
Oh boy.
Oh, hell no.
Oh,
Oh, hell no.
And it seems to be filling the entire eastern half of this crossroads area, and the mist that is riding along is pushing you guys towards the west.
aside from myself, Tyrion seems to be the most armed and armored, as if for battle.
Other than Beetlejaw, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if with his cloak if we could see he was geared up or not.
You see
You can see my sword at this point.
Okay.
And I have a shield.
For Tyrion, you basically just see armor. You do not see a weapon on his person.
But you got a shield and armor.
Yep.
Everyone else is way more armored than I am. I'm just saying.
All right, so Tyrion, stranger, one of us should take point, the other should bring up the rear, and we'll keep our half-elven and our other friend safer in the middle. I think it's time we start moving.
Like we're given a choice.
Look, we don't know each other, so do you want me to take point or you want me to take rear guard?
I'll take point, and I'm start heading off.
Okay, so much for keeping you in the middle.
Oh boy. That one doesn't know what's good for him, does he?
Probably not.
All right.
So I had moved over here. So folks can move their tokens now.
Oh, cool.
You guys have the power now. I gave it to you. I figured it out.
I'll stay in the middle, Matthias, if you want to take up the rear.
Okay.
I'm very distracted by Damon, right? Hanging out over here. by himself.
Yes, so I'm moving the same direction that you guys are moving in, but I still am reluctant to join you guys close knit.
All right, so as the heroes of the mist move off into this strange new realm, unknowing the dangers that lie before them, we'll go ahead and we'll take our 5-minute break.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we'll have our dice giveaway for the
Dun, dun,
Midnight
dun.
Fantasy dice.
5 whole minutes.
5
Five
whole
whole
minutes.
Oh boy. I'll be right back.
The keyword for the giveaway is going to be mist. So if you enter in that keyword, you will be entered in. If you're a subscriber, you get 3 entries. And then we will reveal who wins at the end of the break. All right. Thank you guys.
We'll be back.
We'll be back
See you
in
guys.
momentarily.
See you guys in 5.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for bearing with us while we took a break real quick. And I figured out how to fix the fog of war situation, so we will be good to go. Also, Damon, I got your sneaky Facebook message, so I checked that and I've acknowledged your comment. I'm ready for the giveaway winner. Who won? Come on, Moobot, tell us. All right, She Rolls Like That has been drawn for the giveaway. You are the winner of the dice. So congratulations. Please stick around after the show or come and join us on Discord to give us the details so we can get those dice over to you.
Odin.
And I think we will go ahead and start moving along. She Rolls Like That one. All right, and Rob, if you can move us back to the landing page, that would be great, since you have that power now. Rob, the boss, is in the background running all the technical things, so I just get to worry about the game stuff. He spoils me like that. He's great. All right, so you guys continue moving on down the path. And as you guys are sort of moving in this huddled group together, trying to, avoid the mist that seems to be trying to sweep over you, and this creature of shadow that's following along behind you, you notice that it's not gaining on you, but it is seemingly pushing you this direction.
It's funny. I thought we were going to have a choice as to which direction we were going to go, and here we have the friggin' darkness following our every move, pushing us in the direction it wants to go. I'm not liking this place. I'm not liking this place one bit.
The illusion of choice. That's just the secret of tabletop role-playing games. I mean, pay no attention to the man behind the screen.
I ask if anyone did anyone, whenever before they woke up, see anything strange? Speaking of your choices, like, the illusion of choice here, feel like it's not an accident that we're being pushed in a direction.
Oh no, of course not. This is totally Istis's work, or Olenamara, one of them. The god.
Jess, you have no idea who that is.
Nope. Like, excuse me.
Never mind.
Wait, what do you know of Istis?
What do I know?
Yes.
She's the goddess of fate.
Yeah.
One.
Are you one of her agents?
No, no.
Okay.
I'm not very devout to any of the gods, but if I was to claim one, it would not be Isis.
You'd be wise in that choice. Although, if you were, you wouldn't have had that choice anyway.
I jot down these names for later research purposes.
Awesome. So you guys continue on down the road. Give me perception
have
checks,
map.
everybody. We do not have a map. You guys are
Okay.
just sort of being pushed down this west-going dirt road. The forest does kind of grow around you guys, and you don't recognize these trees. They're dark and gnarled and very menacing-looking trees just along the path.
I think I somehow in Roll20 hid the column that lets me find my character sheet. You know how to get that back? I got
Along the top of that right side column, the second one in that says journal.
I don't have that column at all anymore.
Oh.
Three little dots or dashes near the top on the right hand side. If you click on that, the track should come back.
I don't see the dots either.
Unless it popped out. Is there a way to make it pop out?
There is. I don't recall though.
You could always just try refreshing it, Damon. See if it comes back if you reload.
Refreshing. Yeah, no, it's back.
All right, cool.
I'm sorry, Alex, what was the check again?
Perception check, please. You guys are so perceptive.
A good adventuring party knows the one skill you always take is perception.
GM jinx, there it is.
Sorry, Damon, didn't mean to jinx you there.
First one of the
I couldn't figure out what the
campaign.
column was. I'm clearly not perceptive.
So as you guys are making your way through this west-going road, each of you sees a light ahead of you, sort of cutting through the mist. And as you come out of the forest, you see basically an island of the mist that rolls all the way around this clearing. There is a lonely house staring out at you. And in front of the house looks like this. And out in front of the house is a terrified looking little girl who has a lantern in her hand. And beside her, she is cradling, she has her young brother sort of nestled up underneath one of her arms as she's holding the lantern up. And the little boy has this very sad looking sackcloth doll in his hands. And he has visible tears streaming down his face. What would you guys like to do?
I'm going to go straight to them and try to ask who they are and figure out if I can help.
Is the strange creature in the mist still following us?
It has stopped following you and it is just watching you at this point.
This is not good.
This is all too...
The look on its face is quizzical.
And then there she goes to help out without even knowing what's going on.
We should stay together. Let's be on guard.
I'm not going to let these kids, they could be scared. I'm going to check on the kids. They're children.
Start following after her.
All right, so you two come rushing up out of the mist, out of the clearing. And the little girl sort of looks at you. She looks suspicious, but the little boy is just sobbing and holding this doll to his chest. He's like, please, please, there's a monster in our house and it's going to kill our baby brother. Please help us.
Hey, Alex, in the realm that I'm from, have I ever seen a tiefling before?
No, you have not.
I'm assuming not.
You have not.
So as she's approaching the two human children, I would approach her. Be careful. These humans, they tend to not like anything unlike themselves.
And I call back, or I at least look back at him, but I don't say anything because I don't want to scare the children further. But I acknowledge that he spoke to me. Like I nod.
You guys have that shared like, oh yeah, racism's a thing expression.
But I go straight to the little boy. So is the little girl holding the baby?
No,
Or
she's holding the young boy who's crying. She's trying to get him to stop crying.
Okay, so I asked, is their baby still in the house? What's going on here, guys?
She looks at you and she says, "Yes, there's a monster in our house." And she points at the tall brick house behind her. Our parents are fighting it. I don't know what's going on. The baby's in the nursery. He's upstairs.
What kind of monster is it? Fuzzy?
It howls. It was in the basement.
At that, I'm ready to fight.
Did she say that, or is that like an internal thought?
She prepares to go in and looks back to tell you guys to someone needs to stay out here with these kids. But
we'll come with you. Just help us.
I don't want you to go in there. I want you to stay out here and be safe.
That creature in the mist is not far away. I don't know that out here is much safer than in the house.
Lead him in the house. One of us can stay downstairs with him if the rest of us are going to make this run at the monster.
Okay.
I'll stay with him.
Inside the house, in the front area. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, take him in, leave him in the main entryway or something.
I look back at Beetlejaw to see if he's coming.
I take a second to look at the two children. I see that the one is explicitly crying and is hurt. But I still do not trust it. I'm not sure I trust Tiefling either, which I don't know is Tiefling. I know it is Purple Woman.
That's a purple devil woman. I know what that is.
But from where I come from, Purple Devil Woman is the most normal thing I've seen yet today, so I will follow her.
Good. Great. Thanks. So we go in?
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of point person on this.
You took initiative. Go.
Well, little kids are my kind of a weak point, so in we go to the house.
Yes.
In you go into the house.
Check on the creature as we're entering the house, the thing back in the mist. Is it still just waiting at the edge of the clearing?
No, it is coming this direction.
Of course.
Rock and hard place. Great. All right. When we go in the house, is the front door intact? Does it have a lock?
The front door is intact. I will give you a description momentarily. Where did you go?
Draw the sword.
Hey, Caramel is not helping.
No.
He's not even Caramel Wolf. It's Carol Wolf. This is not good.
Let's call the wambulance. I like it.
You guys are awesome.
I feel like that would have been I'm still trying to remember everyone's name, but Tyrion, Andy, is that one you?
Tyrion, yeah.
Tyrion. I feel like that's kind of what you wanted to tell the kid. So, Crimey River, let's go.
Did Lily introduce herself by her name earlier?
I did to not you.
Ow!
Talk to the purple devil woman hand. Right there it was.
There's the burn.
I said it to Kristen, I believe, and I actually don't know who all heard me when I said it.
So
I was under the assumption we're all in proximity enough to all hear each other, but
yeah, you have super hearing too, so you could have heard her.
Okay.
All right, so you guys sort of rush into the house. There's this rusted wrought iron gate that rattles from amidst the mist that strangled the street, and the wind moans like a neglected child as you enter this building. Ignoring a shiver, you sort of escape the clinging mist and cross the stone portico into the house, and a chill hangs in the air. Oaken doors stand before you, silent and brooding, and you find yourself in an immaculate foyer decorated with portraits and heraldries. A family of stony-faced aristocrats watch you with disinterest. The plaque on the frame reads "The Dursts" in dull gold lettering. On a southern wall, you find a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms, a golden windmill, and a red field. Mahogany-framed doors lead deeper into the manor. And I will pull you guys up on the map. Now that I have fixed the fog of war problem.
Yay!
Now let's see if I gave you guys control over your tokens.
Huzzah!
Yep.
So I'm gonna move myself up here. Are there kid tokens that we can put like in the center somewhere, or do we just have to remember that?
No, let me get you a Macaulay Culkin. Don't ask why I had that ready to go. It's a Heroes Incorporated thing.
That's amazing.
Oh, this is very good. Okay, so yes, I'm not.
Send the kids back in first.
Okay, wait, never mind. Throw those kids up here. You guys know where we're going. So,
wait, are the kids at the front or the back of the party?
They should be in the middle.
That's up to you guys.
Well, looking at them, I'm just trying to gauge by the map. Like, looks like they and I are still outside.
Yeah, by the map. I haven't moved you guys into your order or anything like that.
Didn't one of you say you were staying outside with them?
No, we were gonna stay downstairs with them.
Downstairs.
Yeah, because that thing's outside. So that thing in the mist.
So I asked the kids, there's no one, we don't see anyone, right? You were talking about we see a picture, so like there's no actual people in front, but it doesn't look like anything bad has happened in the house at all.
No, the place looks very immaculately well kept.
Are the doors out of the foyer into the deeper house, are they closed?
They are closed currently, yes.
Okay.
So we're all standing in the foyer at the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to make sure that the lock on the door seems intact.
It is intact, yes.
Okay, so make sure that that's locked, and then just say to Tyrion, don't be shy. Sing out if something happens down here.
You'll be one of the first to know.
So I think the rest of us were going to follow Lily into the house further.
So before
is that correct, Andy? You were planning to stay with the kids?
Yeah, that was the idea.
Okay.
Before we go through the doors, I asked the kids where the nursery is, since that's where their brother is.
It's on the 3rd floor.
Of course it is.
Oh, of course it is. Okay, so is the door locked? You said it was intact, but is it locked?
It is not locked.
Okay, so I open the door into whatever awaits, I guess.
Cool.
Or wait, maybe we should battle plan first. Like 3rd floor, they said the kids in the basement. The monster was in the basement.
Yeah, they said their parents were fighting a monster in the basement.
Okay, so let me ask before we open the door. I want to ask what everyone like if we want to split up, or I say I'm going to go upstairs and get the baby.
The less splitting up we do, I think the better. It's dangerous enough leaving somebody down here with the kids. I don't know if we want to rush in here and all go in a different direction. This could still be a trap.
Okay, so does everyone
in response to that, my Beetlejaw would glare at him disapprovingly.
So I look at Beetlejaw and ask what he wants to do. I feel like I am also more inclined to kind of follow your lead just because I don't have as much of a distrust with humans as you appear to, but I am not as favored of them.
And just for reference, you guys don't know his name is Beetlejaw. He hasn't introduced himself yet. But until he does, this is a good misnomer.
Oh.
Hey, you.
How about, hey, you there. What's your name and what do you want to do? Like, do you want to go up? Input.
Well, Lily, that's a very convoluted question. Edric is my name. Thank you. And I don't know what sounds more dangerous, the howling coming from the other room or these humans behind us.
Fair. My thought is At least the baby is small. We can go upstairs and get it. It's not gonna. Shouldn't be too awful to deal with. It hasn't really developed its hatred towards people yet, I would think. Save the baby.
Yeah, no, I'm sure the baby will be completely manageable and nothing terrible will happen to you guys.
Oh, God.
Wait, sorry, that was my internal monologue.
Well, since I technically didn't hear that, I still want to go upstairs and get the baby, and I just want to make sure, because I'm not trying to like totally barge in there without making sure everyone's like
Can you
back me up.
You heard a scream from upstairs. Lily, can you listen at the door before you open it to see if there's anything immediately on the other side?
Yes, I can. Oh, wait.
With my enhanced hearing, can I just immediately know that if there's something on the other side of the door making noise?
Please give me a perception check.
Sure.
You have advantage because of your keen ears. Is it rolling okay, Damon, or did it do its thing again?
Oh. No, I just took a second to get to it.
Awesome. So yeah, with the 20, you hear on the other side of this door, you hear the sound of people engaging in light small talk and the clinking of glasses on each other.
Lily, there appears to be people engaged in some kind of dining or drinking. I hear some glass and small talk. I can't imagine why that would be going on with what we've been told is a monster in there. So I would immediately look at the children suspiciously.
Do you tell me that before
Yes.
you look at them? Okay, so I'm going to follow your lead too, I guess, and look at the kids with you.
The funny thing is, when you look at the kids, they vanish into a puff of mist. And anyone who was outside is thrust into the building, and the door disappears into the wall behind you.
Damn children.
Fuck.
Of course.
Lily, this is why we can't trust humans.
Well, I was hoping that the children would be a bit different, but it appears you're right.
Humans usually don't poof up and smoke, just as a FYI.
Yeah, Tristan is, I think, the right here. Perhaps our baggage should be left behind while we figure out what's really going on.
Oof.
I mean, to be fair, he's not from Greyhawk, so I can see why.
Perhaps humans on his world are more obnoxious. It's hard to say.
Oh, boy.
How about we stop fighting about races and figure out what we want to do?
Well,
We don't have an option of going back the way we came, so we can only go forward. Again, the choice is made for us in this place.
on the other hand, Tira, now there's no need for you to stay behind. And I think sticking together is probably our best option at this point, at least until we get out of this house.
Yeah.
Do we see who our hosts are?
May as well introduce ourselves.
All right. I'll go first since this was my idea.
Women always getting me in trouble.
Can I smack him with my tail?
Yeah, sure.
Yep. Okay.
Your tail does not have 10-foot reach.
I didn't know how
Yeah.
close we were.
You can smack him as he goes through the door with it.
Okay, cool. I hang back and wait just to.
So,
Seeing this, I do my best to suppress a small laugh, but I'm unable to do so. And I quickly turn away from the rest of the party and enter the room behind her.
So it's almost breathtaking in the gloom beyond the foyer. The main hall glitters, its wood-paneled walls are ornately carved with idyllic scenes of frolicking nymphs and satyrs. At one end of the hall, a sweeping red marble staircase climbs to unknown heights. At the other is a black marble fireplace, cold and unlit. Mounted above the mantelshelf is a longsword with a windmill cameo worked into its hilt. And the moment you enter this area, you can hear music floating down the stairs, a harpsichord. It's all right. It starts and stops. Sections are oft repeated, this time with gusto. Whomever's playing the instrument clearly is a novice. Novice.
Ow.
Tristan jumps out a window. He can't take it.
Out of tune.
It's real hard to tune a harpsichord. You got to get a guy for that. It's like a piano, I assume. I've never tuned a harpsichord. I don't know.
Does anyone need a spare? I kind of thumb over towards the sword of the mantle.
I don't know that I want to touch anything that comes from this place, seeing as how the doors just kind of disappear. I don't know that I trust it.
Not to mention the children that disappear.
That too.
Well, I don't know if I trust you, but yet here we are, so we got to do something.
Feelings mutual, but less about the fact that I'm here with you rather than going to disappear in a puff of smoke.
There's no sign of anything in the room that would have, like, Edrin, did you say your name was? Edric. Indicated it sounded like dinner was happening. There's no table and diners in this room?
No, not at all.
Hmm.
But Beetlejaw, you do hear that door you're standing beside, you do hear the sounds of that party going on back there.
I informed the rest of my party. The same noises that we heard from initially coming from this room are coming from this door next to me.
So I asked to keep going forward then, I guess?
Either that or I'm going to go upstairs and stop whoever is making that horrendous noise. So.
Well.
Start with the door in front of us rather than worrying about what's upstairs, but keep your eyes open.
All right.
After you, human.
I think our illustrious purple-skinned female was going to lead the charge on this one.
By all means.
With that, I'll reach over and open the door.
I was going to until you said that.
All right, the door opens to reveal a crystal chandelier glittering above a dining room, watching over 8 empty chairs. The chairs are high-backed and cushioned with velvet that matches the silken drapes covering the windows. Like the main hall, the walls are ornately carved with elegant images of deer flitting among ancient trees. The table is set, all silverware polished to a dazzling shine, and there is a magnificent feast laid out before you. I would like everybody to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh no.
Right off the bat.
Wait, is there anyone sitting at the table, or do we?
There is not. There is nobody in this room.
Okay then.
There is a painting of an alpine vale mounted above the unlit fireplace, and a tapestry depicting nobles hunting wolves from horseback hangs from the wall.
Saving throw. So I click on wisdom. Do I have a check mark next to it? Does that mean I have a advantage roll, or
Let me look.
I don't really know how this works.
That probably just means that you're proficient in it.
You are proficient with wisdom saving throws. Let me yeah. So you'll roll a d20 and you'll get a +2.
So do I click on the advantage part or normal roll?
Normal roll. Normal
Wish
roll.
I had a +2.
Badly for all of us.
Yeah. So Matthias, Tristan, and Lily, you guys can't help but to just dig into this food. And you feel this compulsion to just eat until you're stuffed full.
Nom nom nom.
What would Edric and Tyrion like to do?
I look at Edric. I don't know that I have anything to get rid of this, whatever this is. Can we pull them away?
You can with an opposed strength check.
All right. I will grab at Tristan and try to pull him back. So
I will do the same for Lily.
Sorry, Matthias, you're on your own.
More food for me?
So Tyrion, you're trying to pull Tristan. Tristan,
Yes.
please roll a strength check for me.
As I rolled a 5, he's probably going to be better.
How do you see what you roll?
It's in the chat
so-
window under Roll20.
The little conversation tab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tristan, Tyrion tries to grab you and pull you away, but this is the best food you had in days. So you're just shoveling stuff into your gullet. You overpower him as he tries to pull you away. Edric, please roll a strength check, and Lily, please roll a strength check. Oh my goodness.
Pretty sure I just yeeted Lily.
Yeet.
Cool. Close.
You know, Lily, you give it your best shot, but this guy is just so much bigger than you. He just yanks you off of the table.
Yay! So what happens then?
I would like Tristan and Matthias to roll Constitution saving throws. Lily, I would like you to roll a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Is there one more human that hasn't been pulled off the food yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a very good chance I might need to make a new character.
Oh, I guess the cons.
Which one is it? The one in red?
It would be the one on the whatever the higher one is, because she had advantage. Oh yeah, sorry, Matthias is up there. He's the last one, but it's too late to save him, unfortunately.
What do you mean? I rolled a 23.
He doesn't need saved though. He survives the problem. So Lily, you were pulled away fast enough that you're not going to be affected by this. And Matthias, you just have that iron stomach of the war veteran that makes it so,
I've eaten worse.
Your favorite food's rations and crayons. Tristan, I'm afraid, as you guys are eating, the glamour upon the banquet vanishes, revealing it to be rotted foul meats infested with maggots and stale bread stuffed with weevils. Tristan, you are going to be
my save in real life.
Tristan, you are going to be poisoned for 1 hour.
Ooh.
And poisoned as a condition just means that you suffer disadvantage to rolls.
Awesome.
Is this at a point where I can say thank you?
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have to remind me how to pronounce this. Edric, right?
Edric.
Edric.
Yes. Nailed it.
Thank you. Well, apparently, thank you, Edric, for saving me from that.
You're welcome.
Meanwhile, I'm over in the corner hacking.
Hurling, even.
Sucks to be human, doesn't it?
He's a half elf.
Does a lot more than sucks to be human.
I don't think I have any saving spells or anything for poison, so I would help if I could. But
let's see here. I am trained in medicine. Can I do anything for Tristan?
Please give me a medicine check. Let's see if Tyrion has any ipecac in his knapsack.
Nope.
Yeah, Tyrion, you're looking at him and you think that his body's just got to purge his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we regroup then?
Well, actually, I can help you. So I go over to Tristan and perform lay on hands.
Okay.
Which neutralizes poison.
It will take all 5 points to
I'm aware.
do that. Okay. So yeah, you what does your lay on hands look like, Edric?
It is a green with green glow with like a yellow middle tint that almost resembles lightning.
Yeah, and Tristan, you feel this sort of warm, fuzzy feeling pass over you, and the nausea and the sickness just dissipates.
Oh, that was unpleasant. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I just stare blankly at him because he said thank you to me. That's never happened before. And just nod.
Am I aware of what he had just done? Like, do I recognize the lay on hands sort of stuff?
Give me an Arcana check. Or Arcana if you're a caramel person.
There it is again.
Running gag of this campaign.
Ooh.
Oh, I hope not.
I got a +4 on that one, I think.
Yeah, so you got an 18. Yeah, you do recognize the not necessarily the color or light of his ability, but you have seen paladins lay on hands before, so you suspect he might be a paladin.
So I don't ask him out loud yet. It doesn't seem like an advantageous time to do that, but I do share a look with, like a knowing look with him, or try to catch his eyes for it.
In Roll20, how do I determine that I've already used Lay on Hands?
Beetlejaw. I don't know that there's a way other than remembering it. You
Just
can open it
manually
up
keep track of
on.
it?
Yeah, you can open it on D&D Beyond and keep track of it. I'm pretty sure, but I don't
Yeah,
think there's a way to do
that
it on.
works. Great. And I acknowledge the look that I got.
Cool. What would you guys like to do as you're standing in this rotting dining room?
Let's get out of here. This whole
Yeah.
place is trying to test us or something. I don't like it.
I agree for once.
Well, there's no front door, so
Did the door behind us stay?
Yes, it did.
Okay, so
There are.
It looks like maybe it might be only the exits that have locked themselves to you.
what about Edric? Can I ask Edric if he hears anything else? Since that was apparently not the source of the sound.
Edric, please give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
So with the 15, you do still hear the harpsichord music coming from upstairs. Beyond that, you think you might hear a baby crying farther away than the harpsichord noise.
Like
And you
upstairs.
think you hear, like upstairs. And you think you hear a dog whimpering.
Dog whimpering. I convey this to everybody else.
Gotcha. So
Can you tell where those sounds are coming from? Like the harpsichord is clearly upstairs.
All I can tell is that the harpsichord is upstairs, and it sounds like the baby is coming from further upstairs, as it is definitely more faint, but coming from up. Do I know where the dog whimper is coming from?
It sounds like it's coming from the same area as the harpsichord noise.
Conveyed to party.
So I'm concerned that there might actually be a baby in here, but per their last adventure with the kids, I am unsure how to proceed.
If
So
we're
I
going,
asked-
if we're gonna go upstairs, we have to stop on the second floor. It wouldn't be good to just walk above and leave whatever is unknown below us.
Well, speaking of which, there are 3 unchecked doors down here.
Yeah, we should make sure we clear everything first.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling if everything keeps with the theme, we're gonna be directed where we need to go anyway.
Typical humans.
Somebody says dog is priority number 1 in the chat.
I kind of agree. Rowan, agree. Lily does not.
Well, Matthias, let's check these doors then.
All right.
Which one are you guys checking first?
One at a time. This one right here between us. Right there.
All right.
Listen
That door-
first.
the supplies closet.
It's the
Uh,
privy.
You don't hear anything in there.
All right. Gently test the doorknob. Does it seem to be locked?
It is not locked.
All right, open it.
You open it.
Help.
You open upon a closet stocked with several black cloaks, and someone has left a top hat on the high shelf.
Ooh,
Interesting.
really kind of want to take the hat.
I actually drew
I'd
on
be
this.
wary of anything from this house.
I know.
So
I said kind of wanna. I didn't say I was going to.
listen at this door next, the one beside the one into the dining room.
You listen at that door?
Yes.
You hear a soft bell ding.
Just once?
Like, ding. Yeah, it only dings at one time.
I'll kind
And
of
then if you wait a few seconds, it dings again.
I will step away from the door over towards the group and say, I hear a bell intermittently ringing in this room.
If it's off the dining room, it might be the kitchen.
Might be. But something is ringing the bell.
Of
So
course,
I
you
will.
humans would be more concerned with the bell than a crying child of your own race.
We've established that things aren't what they seem here. And rushing upstairs to leave things to come up behind us is not sound tactical doctrine. I
By all
plan to
means.
survive this encounter.
Lily still glances towards where she thinks the baby would be. She's unable to help much because she's very preoccupied with the idea of the baby upstairs.
Given that we were lured into a trap once by the appearance of children in danger.
Yes, but it is evident here that the appearances are not what they seem. So
Right.
it would make sense that since they revealed to us that children could have disappeared, we would immediately assume that the third child, the infant, would disappear as well. However, that could be a misconception. The child could very well be real, and we could be wasting time instead of saving.
You guys just need to build up a tolerance to that particular poison and quit playing this game with the Sicilian.
Test the door with the door with the bell. Is it locked?
It is not locked.
Open it.
It opens into a kitchen. The kitchen, gloomy as it might be, is tidy. The shelves are neatly stocked with dishware. The work table has been wiped clean. A cutting board left behind is the only oversight. The iron pipes of the oven snake out like a willow tree caught in a windstorm, twisting up and into the ceiling. The door to the pantry hangs ajar, and a dumbwaiter sits in the corner, its gate yawning open. And it looks like there is a bell beside the dumbwaiter that is ringing.
As if someone upstairs is ringing the bell.
That's what it would seem like.
All right. Move back here and convey that to the rest of the group.
Well, Edric, if you're so keen to go upstairs, then let's do it.
Via the dumbwaiter?
No, not via the dumbwaiter, via the stairs. But if you're going to go upstairs, come here, real quick.
Which one?
Edric.
You are the red one, correct?
No, I'm the green one. let me see your sword.
All these humans look the same.
Yes. All these humans look the same. So I'm a bit confused as to why a human would want to see my sword. I would definitely be on the air of caution here. Human, why is it that you want my sword?
You're good with it, right?
That remains to be seen. Do you want to test that?
So bristly.
No. I want to know if your skill is worth my time. But if you're going to be difficult, just either let me see your sword or don't. It's your choice. One that you actually do have in this house.
Edric shoots a quick glance over to Lily, as if asking, should I go through with this, or should I reserve my sword?
I nod as a approval.
Fine, human. Here's the sword.
So you pull your sword up out of its scabbard, and Tyrion runs his fingers down the center of your blade, causing a set of runes to appear on it. That should serve you if there is a fight to come for the next, till we sleep at the very least.
Do I recognize these symbols and can explain them to Edric?
Roll an Arcana check.
Eventually.
Eventually. You don't recognize the exact symbols, but you do recognize that he has infused some kind of magic in the sword to make it a more effective weapon.
Okay, so I recognize that they are helpful symbols-ish. Like,
yes, you don't recognize the god that's being invoked, but you do recognize the effect.
Okay, so I explain this to Edric. He helped you. Okay. Can confirm.
Could I make a roll?
Yeah, sure.
Arcane or religion? Which one?
Do a religion check, since you sort of know the spell that's being used. If not the symptom. Wait, sorry, that's the show I was at the other night. Tyrion, who is your primary deity?
Is this?
That's why I was asking.
So if Istis is a Greyhawk deity, yes, you are familiar with them.
Yes, she is.
Do we have access to our deities in Barovia or wherever we may be?
Are you guys praying?
I'm not sure as the spell and the casting entails.
It's not really a prayer per se.
Yeah, Edric and Tyrion, you guys have both invoked divine spell-like abilities in here. You do feel sort of distant from your gods. More so than usual, Tyrion.
Yeah.
But they do feel... Edric, yours feels less far away than Tyrion's does because you suspect that you're still somewhere within the demi-plane of dread. You're a native of this area, so you have a little bit more experience than the other party members do.
Noted. So my response to Tyrion is with a nod.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
While that interplay was happening, could I have been listening at this door beside Lily?
Yeah. Please give me a perception check, Matthias. You don't hear nothing.
Test the knob carefully. Is it locked?
It is not locked.
All right, I'll open it while they're having their dance over here.
Having their moment.
Yeah.
Out of the darkness, as you open this door, loom wolves, their snarls frozen forevermore. And a stag's head is mounted above the unlit fireplace. Fine chairs draped in furs face the hearth with a cask of wine and a pipe rack on the table between them. The goblets are dry and empty, and the candelabrum gleaming in your lamplight. The wax has melted over, leaving little white islands on the table. Cabinets line the walls. In one darkened corner of the room, a chandelier hangs over a cloth-covered table. Looks like it's some sort of hunter's lodge, some sort of like hunter's study.
Okay.
There are 3 stuffed wolves in the room.
I tense up.
Are we all able to see into the room or just the 2 that are at the doorway?
Just the 2 that are at the door right now. The other 2 are sort of in the way.
Then I don't tense up yet.
Well, you're one of the 2 in the doorway.
You're one of the ones in the door.
Oh. I do tense up then. Oh, I see. Yes.
I will step back into the room to sort of make way.
I don't want to go all the way in it, so
I'll just sort of say quietly, just close the door when you're done. And I'll go over here and reclose these doors.
So, Lily, when you look over to hear him say, close the door when you're done, and you look back, you see that the stuffed wolves have moved.
Oh, God.
I convey this probably too loudly. They moved.
What moved?
The stuff moved. They moved. There were heads in here. Like, are they mounted on a plaque?
No, they're the wolves are full on taxidermied wolves on stands.
There were wolves in here, and they just moved.
Wolves, you say?
But like stuffed. They were fake. They had died, and they just moved. They shouldn't have moved, and they did. I'm not going in.
Make sure the door is closed.
So can I go to close the door, or that doesn't seem? Yeah. I guess, no.
Yeah. When you go to close the door after you're talking to them, and you look back, you see the wolves are back in their original position.
I debate whether or not I should actually go in and figure out what this is. I close the door.
Okay. It closes with a click. What would you guys like to do?
Wow. Chad has no mercy.
Someone push her into the room.
You guys are mean.
I would
Honestly,
ask
that would have been
literally
hilarious.
for a description of the stuffed wolves. Looking for fur color.
They're sort of gray timber wolves, very large, and they've been positioned in various hunting poses. One's crouched down, one looks like it's getting ready to leap and pounce, and the other one's just snarling with its hackles pulled back.
And these are clearly identifiable common wolves that we would all know.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm the one that's supposed to be explaining that, like in theory. Is that what he was
Yeah.
asking me? And
Yep.
Okay. So I said that.
Pay no attention to the man behind the screen.
So it's closed though, right?
Yeah, you close the door with a click.
Okay. After he asks me about them, I just say that I'm not exactly keen on wolves at the moment, so I don't want to deal with it if we don't have to.
I get that. Shall we up the stairs?
I guess. Wow. Sorry.
Rude AF. I think it's just because Carol Wolf has wolf at the end of his name.
Probably.
He's looking out for his wolf brethren.
Yeah,
I think he's still upset about the caramel dilemma, really. I mean,
food chain. All right, up the stairs you guys go. Go ahead and array your tokens in whatever order you would like to be. I just sort of slapped them on there so I had them available for you guys. As you guys head up the stairs, a cold draft sweeps down the marble staircase as it delivers you to a darkened hall. Above the mantelpiece hangs another portrait of the Durst family. The little boy and the little girl smile down on you. Their mother, her face darkened with a hint of scorn, cradles a swaddled baby. Two mahogany doors are intricately carved with dancing youths. Suits of armor flank these doors, clutching spears, their gazes empty beneath wolf-shaped visors. A third thin door stands to the right of the stairs, which continue climbing upward. The harpsichord music sounds like it's coming from the left door.
We
here?
all know that, or only I know that?
You all can hear it now at this point. This door.
Do we hear any more? Do I hear any more of the little dog or the baby?
Give me another perception check. With advantage because it's hearing.
Can't get in a square?
Oh, come on.
Perception, right?
Yes, perception.
The squares on the floor don't match up to the squares on the...
They sure don't. I'm trying to make it work. It's not working.
I'm sliding. I'm doing the electric slide.
Whole
I'm in the
house is
fireplace.
dancing.
I'm in the fireplace. It's not good.
One second. I got this. I can fix this. Good enough for rock and roll. I'm not going to mess with it anymore.
I really don't like this.
What's the worst that could happen?
Don't ask that question.
Really don't want me to answer.
Yeah,
Well, and Edric, with your 23, you do hear the dog in that room beyond the door where the harpsichord music is coming from. You don't hear a baby crying anymore, but you do hear a woman sort of crying out in pain, and another woman sort of shushing her.
From where?
Like a sustained sort of
Shush!
Like,
Like
push,
that.
push, push. You're hearing push, not shush.
Oh, that's not good.
And that appears to be coming from this room over here.
Yeah, because births in haunted houses always turn out well.
Mm.
And with that, I'm good. But
So they convey to my
Rosemary's
party
Baby,
that,
Part
that
2.
where the harpsichord and the dog are coming from, and that there appears to be a female in the process of childbirth, accompanied by another female coming from the other.
It doesn't sound like a comforting shush. It sounds like a shut up, you deserve this sort of shush.
Accompanying her, not comforting her. With her.
So yeah.
Did you say there were books in this room? I don't.
There are no books in this room, but there are 4 suits of armor with wolf head visors clutching spears on either side of the double doors.
Just waiting to come alive.
So paranoid.
Wish
Edric.
I had my library.
I'm studying the wolf head visors. They intrigue me.
Yeah, it looks like almost like the Hound's helmet from Game of Thrones, with the large closing mouth that covers over your face, and you can sort of see out of the wolf's mouth.
Can I? So I'm pretty paranoid at this point. My character Lily is paranoid.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yes, sorry. Can I cast my armor of Agathis on myself?
Yeah, you sure can.
Out of like preparation?
Yeah.
Because
So
I don't
go
really,
ahead.
I don't have any way to like really like arm up. I mean, I have the crossbow and the sickle. I guess I could just grab that, but
Chat has called for the ghost of Leroy Jenkins to ride.
Yeah, so that spell lasts for an hour and it's not concentration. So yeah, you could totally cast that spell on yourself. Just make sure you mark off one of your spell slots on D&D Beyond.
I will try to figure out how to. So I go to my character.
We have 3 choices. None of them sound good, but anyone got a preference?
Let's deal with the harpsichord.
Did I do it?
Tristan, can you hear anything beyond that? Anything more from being right in front of the door? Any more?
I listen with my pointy ears.
Give me a perception check.
Can I do that too?
Yes, you may.
Lucky 13.
Do I get advantage on mine?
You do. All right, so with a 19 and a 13, you guys can clearly hear as you're up against the door listening in. You hear a strict sounding woman saying, no, it is like this. Do not play with your fat fingers like this. Do that again and I will break them.
What?
Sounds like one of my teachers. Oops.
Are we also hear anything with the dog?
Just like low breathing.
Don't like this house, guys.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, jeez.
With that, Tristan's going to open the door with a flourish and walk in.
All right. You open the door, and sure enough, a harpsichord looms out from the dark, facing a nearby standing harp. The brass-plated chandelier casts a dull sheen in your light, as if to half-heartedly warn you away. The fireplace lies cold, decorated by alabaster figurines of dancers neatly placed on the mantelpiece. Velvet upholstered chairs line the walls for those that would be serenaded with what would no doubt be beautiful music. It's lonely here, and a chill hangs in the air. Sitting at the bench for the harpsichord, you see the little girl who lured you in here, practicing on the instrument. And there is a stern-looking woman you recognize from the portraits, sort of keeping time on the piano. When they see you, the little girl holds up a finger and goes, shh, and they both disappear.
Any ideas?
This whole house is just out to mess with us. Are there any windows in this room?
Yes, there are. They're against the far wall here, here, and here.
Are you
Okay.
going to defenestrate yourself?
No, but I'm not going to just throw myself out the window. I was going to go see if maybe we could open them to get out.
Thank goodness for the word defenestrate. You guys are awesome.
I'm a bookworm, so
I'm not just tossing myself out the window here.
That's RoboCop's favorite way to kill people. You see underneath the harpsichord bench, there is a very ratty-looking dog who looks half-starved and terrified, huddling underneath the bench.
I will go to the dog and try to calm it.
Please give me an animal handling check.
Evil and undead.
I'm gonna follow him actually.
This is normal for me.
Yes. Yep, not without advantage. Oh, nice. So, Edric, with a 23 animal handling, you are able to coax the dog to come out. I mean, you've spent time with animals your whole life trying to find somebody to be your friend. And the dog kind of creeps out from under the bench and softly licks the back of your hands. Looks like it's a French bulldog. And he has a necklace, and his tag says Lancelot on it. And he looks like he's in rough shape, like he's been here for a while.
I have a thing of rations. Can I offer it to the dog to see if he'll take this food?
Yeah, he takes it hungrily.
There, little fella. I can tell it's a boy.
Yeah, you can tell it's a boy.
That's a lot. I don't know if it's a male or female name in this world. I give it a scratch behind its ear with my non-gloved hand, and ask if it wants to join me.
You take off. Do you take off your glove and pet him?
No, I have one glove hand, one non-glove hand.
Gotcha.
Shield hand is gloved.
Gotcha. Does Lily notice your peculiarity when you go to
Lily, do you notice that?
Yes, I was thinking I do because I was about to ask if he was okay.
Yeah, so you kind of look down, and Edric has these long lupine fingers that end in sharp nails. It almost looks like a werewolf's hand.
Well, then I definitely noticed it.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah. Trying to think what I would say.
When you ask the dog if he wants to come with you, he gives a little like, "Herp."
Is that game world for yes?
Yes.
Awesome.
And his little nub tail starts to wag.
Perfect.
Very slightly.
Hey, Edric.
Yes, Lily.
Can you understand that dog? Is that what just happened?
That's not.
If you're asking if I can understand its language, of course not. It speaks canine, but I feel a kinship with it.
I don't want to call him out on his hand, but I'm obviously more skeptical of him than I was.
Cool. What are the rest of you guys doing while they're having this sort of interplay?
I'm going to check the window to see if we can open it, see if we can actually view outside of the house, or if it's, oh, look, it's the Acme window. You open it and it's a bunch of bricks.
How did you know the house was built by Acme?
Too many hours of Looney Tunes.
Sure enough, the windows are bricked up.
Of course they are. Well, we're not getting out this way. Probably the only way out is to solve the riddle of this place.
Tristan, as you're over there by the harp, you do see there is a piece of sheet music. that says the title of it is A Dance for Elizabeth.
Pluck a couple things just to see, just check for tuning to see how out of tune it is.
The harp is actually in pretty good tune. It seems like it's been well taken care of. The whole house, other than not seeing anybody, seems like it's been well taken care of.
For that dining room would need some work.
Yeah.
Well, other than that.
Well, we have some sheet music and a haunted house. What could possibly go wrong if I play this?
A lot. I'm
Don't
just
do
saying.
it.
Yeah,
Are
well,
we-
part of the things that we need to in order to figure out this how.
Am I next to him as he's picking up this sheet music, or am I still closer to?
You're still over by Edric and the harpsichord and the dog.
Okay.
Since
I
everyone
was
else
I was gonna get a token for the dog, but it was too sad when I looked up sickly dogs and I didn't want to do it.
Okay.
Good call.
So, since me and Edric are still over here by ourselves, like, can I be? And like, are we still in interplay, or am I?
Yeah, and I'm saying that kind of like projecting my voice so that the rest of
Oh, okay.
the party can hear me. So I'm not like whispering to myself. I'm like, hey, I got the sheet music.
Yeah, and you guys can move from person to person. Don't feel like if you're locked into conversation with one character, you're stuck with that character. Unless a certain amount of time needs to take place for your scene.
Since they're all checking out the room, I'm going to wander back to the doors just to sort of keep an eye out for any shenanigans outside the room.
Cool.
We have a name, Elizabeth.
Alex, are you able to make those tokens on your own?
Yes, I am.
I'll send you a picture of Strat.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have him ready for next session.
Perfect.
So, I guess I'm like torn because I want to. Since we're over here by ourselves, I kind of want to keep with our conversation and maybe ask about his hand since everyone else is distracted, or if I want to go over and grab that sheet of paper before he plays music.
But you're by the harpsichord. He would have to come over towards you to play it.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Unless he plays it on the harp.
Which he could.
Unless he plays it on the harp.
Or on any of his instruments that he has with him.
Shh, Alex, you're not helping.
Or if he sings it. Bard's got a bard, man.
Okay. So I'm thinking I guess I look at Edric like with questions in my eyes. Like, I don't know. We seem like we have kind of a connection going on. So I'm assuming he picks up that I have something to say, but I find that the fact that someone just picked up a piece of paper is more interesting and more pressing, I guess, and walk over to Tristan while saying, can I see that before you play it?
It's sheet music.
I'm aware. I've spent my life studying all types of writing. I would like to see it before you play it, please.
Certainly.
Okay, so over here, right? Is this where I'm at?
Yep.
Yeah, just come down to the harp next to Tristan. He's the blue one.
Gotcha.
I made you guys all different colors to make it easy on you.
Thank you. It's very nice. So I look at the paper. I'm obviously not as proficient in music as a bard would be, but I have studied at least enough of it to know if it looked magically enhanced, I guess.
It does not seem magical to you.
Okay.
It might be.
I had a better idea in my head before I did this, so trying to play it cool. Like, if I'm studying it for weirdness, I guess I don't see anything, so I give it back to him.
Kind of like looking at the group.
I wouldn't play it.
Where's your sense of adventure?
It died when we entered the house that won't let us leave.
I've made all of my mistakes.
I wouldn't do it. but I'm not you, so
If it makes you guys feel better, I paid $300 for the art, so I'm probably not going to kill you in the first episode.
Worst thing.
Second episode. No.
I mean, if you rather step outside while I do this,
that's a good call.
Do you have to play it? Can we just keep it for later? Like, why do you feel like you need to play this?
because I've got a feeling we need to know why these, I'm guessing, ghosts are hanging around, which is what's stopping us from being able to leave this accursed place.
I poke my head back in. The little girl did tell us to shh. Just saying.
That's a fair point. That means don't play the music.
The little girl also said we need to go inside and save her mommy and daddy from the evil monster.
Little girl also vanished.
Twice.
I think you just proved our point.
Tristan, I'll give you a point of inspiration if you play it.
Bribe. DM bribe.
Fine. I even say fine. Do what you want. And
Does Lancelot react at all to him with sheet music?
No, he doesn't. He seems to just be enamored with you, and he's following along in your footsteps.
Attaboy.
I say fine, do what you want, and I go back over to Edric because I want, since everyone else is still kind of gone, I'm still intrigued by his hand and want to ask him about it.
Cool. Tristan, what do you want to do?
And with that, I start playing the music.
All right, you play it. It's this sort of bouncing, rolling waltz. Very, I mean, you don't have Polish, but it feels Polish to you. And as you're playing, a bunch of apparitions appear in this room and start dancing with each other through and over the people that are still in this room. And Matthias and Tyrion, across the way, you see that door opens.
Oh boy.
He's never going to let us live that down, is he?
I will announce that to the room that the doors across the hall opened.
Okay. So before...
And the ghosts applaud your performance, Tristan.
At least someone appreciates music. With that, I stow the sheet music.
Okay. So, well, I'm going to wrap up this conversation with him real quick just because I feel like I'm getting distracted by it. So I'm just going to say, I want to ask you, like, under a hushed voice to Edric, saying, like, I want to ask you about your hand at some point, but the door seems pretty pressing. So
Get the dog to do it.
dog to do it.
So Edric, having been asked about his hand, he did not realize that he revealed that earlier to the rest of the party. His eyes widen and he gives a solid and storms out of the room.
And Lancelot also goes and turns around and walks after Edric.
First I did. Yay!
So looking into that room, Matthias, as you sort of cross the way, This appears to be a library of some sort. It's a great place of study. A wealth of knowledge sits on floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, weighty tomes of untold worth, novels, treatises, encyclopedias, poetry, histories. So vast is this library that a rolling ladder is necessary to reach the high shelves. An exquisite desk faces the hearth. Upon the mantelpiece thereof hangs a framed portrait of a windmill perched atop a rocky crag. 2 reading chairs flank the fireplace, stuffed and lovely and inviting. You do see in the back corner from the doorway there is a bookshelf that has swung open, revealing a dusty room beyond, packed with tomes decorated only in eldritch runes and ominous symbols. You spot a heavy chest at the end of the hall, squatting as if it harbors some coveted secret. A secret worth dying for, apparently, if the skeleton and rotting leathers is any clue to the insidious danger you've all found yourselves in.
Oh boy.
What would you guys like to do?
I'm going to charge after one of those books.
Careful. Charging. may not be your best course of action.
But
I'll sort of cautiously enter the room.
But books. It's a book zombie. Oh, wait, I thought that was Lancelot panting.
Lily has drool dripping out of her mouth.
All right. So, Lily, you run in and start looking around. You see a couple of books that sort of draw your attention within this space. You see a couple of books. There's a title, The Destruction of the Dusk Elves, Alchemical Secrets Best Left Unknown, Blades of Brass by Walt Whitdorf, Ways of the Wild Folk, A Treatise on Monster Hunting by Rudolf van Richten, and, most puzzling of all, The History of Lily Scratch.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good.
So
Nope.
What were the books before Rudolph and Lily?
Before Rudolph and Lily, it was Destruction of the Dusk Elves, Alchemical Secrets Best Left Unknown, Blades of Brass by Walt Whitdorf, Ways of the Wild Folk, and Political Theory in Dismal Days.
I ask someone to come over and read, check that that's what I'm reading.
Lily, where are you on the map?
She's
That
still
is-
in the
Like conservatory.
harpsichord room.
I'm sorry. I'm getting book.
No time for tokens. Get the books.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no. I flew, actually, teleported. I've developed a new power.
And all these books are next to each other, Alex?
They're sort of spread around the library. Those are just the ones that caught her attention.
Okay. And only her attention?
She was the one looking.
Yeah, she was the one looking. You could see books on all sorts of titles. Those are the ones that I've got prepared, but there's encyclopedias, poetry books, history books. The History of Lily Scratch is the only one that seems personalized to you, other than, Edric, your particular relationship with the Treatise on Monster Hunting.
So I
I would recognize the name Rudolph von Richten, right? Is that the author of the book?
That is the author of the book, yes.
Okay, so I go to that book wherever that is in the room.
That book is right where you're standing. They're sort of in the corner.
I'm standing in the little secret compartment there, trying to determine, if I can, what might have led to the demise of our deceased friend. Does it look like anything on the chest has... Are there marks on the chest indicate some sort of trap or protective wards or anything like that?
So looking at it, it reveals that the skeleton did trigger a poison dart trap. There's 3 darts stuck in his armor and rib cage.
Okay.
The dart firing mechanism appears to be spent of its ammunition.
Okay.
Clutched in the skeleton's left hand is a letter bearing a seal on it.
Okay.
That seal looks like this.
Okay. I mean, I will take the letter and break the seal.
Cool. So the letter, as you unfurl it, you see it says, "My most pathetic servant, I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you on a path to immortality, however many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many visitors you have tortured in your dungeon. Know that you are not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You are but worms writhing in my earth. You say you are cursed, your fortune spent. You abandoned love for madness, took solace in the bosom of another woman, and sired a bastard son. Cursed by darkness? Of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wretchedness? I think not. I much prefer you as you are. Your dread lord and master, Strahd von Zarovich."
Oh, that's...
I will bring that letter out to the room. We'll share that with...
While he is telling the
Tristan
story
and
of this
Tyranny.
letter and reading it to everybody, I am going to take this book by Van Richten and stow it away.
Awesome.
like in secret? Like we didn't see you do
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yes.
I still am like, so before we get onto that letter, this book has my name on it. Someone come confirm this?
I'll walk over.
Tristan, sure enough, it says the history of Lily Scratch.
Yeah. Right there in common.
I am perplexed. I still have my armor up, right?
Yeah, it lasts for an hour, so you're still good.
Well, I mean, it's unusual by far, but I mean, there are seers and people who dabble in divination that can, foretell things.
So
Do you want to read any of it, Lily?
hesitantly, I grab it and open it.
Where do you open it to?
On the front page.
Now,
Look, I started at the beginning.
The front page says, once upon a time, there was a baby tiefling named Lily Scratch, born in the realms of Landolin, to an undeserving father, a surprised mother, and a wondrous sister came along later. Sorry, I forgot your sister was younger than you, not older.
It's fine. Let's see. I flipped to the middle of it.
You flip to the chapter about the night the library was burned down, and the terror you went through as the werewolves descended upon you, and you made that fateful pact with the patron who now rules over your every action.
I close it quickly and put it in my backpack. I don't want to read that in front of everyone.
You're not curious about the last page?
A good studier of books knows not to read the last page before reading the rest.
Now I am. Fine. Before closing it, I quickly flip to the end of the book.
All right, so when you flip to the end of the book, the last few pages, the last paragraph, says she pulled the book down off the shelf and began to read, unaware of the creature that watched her from the shadows. Slowly, the beast crept forward. The next page is blank, save for a bloodstain 2/3 down.
Cool, great.
Wow, you got baited.
Hey, guys. What's that letter say again? Someone's here.
What's that letter say again?
Just gonna ignore this. No, I think I very alarmingly would say, guys, I think we have company somewhere.
What makes you say that?
Well, this book, books are never wrong, I guess. And this book right here about me says that there is a creature in the darkness watching us. Can I, wait, I think I have a true sight or something. No, true stride. Can I just,
you can roll a perception check if you'd like.
Okay. I would like. Eventually. Perception is right here.
You see no indication of any creature in this room aside from the people that you brought with you and Lancelot.
Okay. Interesting. I defer to the guy with the letter and ask if that says anything about that would be helpful to the situation.
Matthias, was there anything else with the letter?
Well, I pulled this off a corpse in the next room. It appears to have been someone who died trying to get into a chest, and they ran afoul of a poison dart trap.
Guys, I will be right back.
That's smart.
Go ahead and tell play with each other. I'll be back.
It's the GM's leaving. Free reign.
Go, 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 go.
And suddenly there were magic swords and treasure for everybody.
And Paladin gets a +5 Holy Avenger.
I feel like I have no idea what I have good ideas, and then I get confused and lost, and I'm like,
it's a horror adventure. You're supposed to be confused and lost. It's all good. If you're confused and
Like-
lost, you're doing good.
I'm like, someone else, please take the reins. Tell me what to do because I am now confused.
Well, you've got a prophecy of a hidden creature. We've got a dead body in the next room.
We still have
Treasure
a
chest that is unexplored.
woman in childbirth.
I'm
somewhere.
gonna cast Divine Sense when he gets back.
Let's say I mostly just worry about like talking too much. So you guys have to tell me if I'm like doing it wrong. I guess.
You're doing
You're
fine.
doing fine.
Thanks.
Just be less mean to me.
You started it.
I did not. I did not mention you specifically.
You said
It's multiversal karma, Phoenix. You're getting your
Something-
comeuppance.
What did I come back to?
You blamed that one for that. That was not my doing.
I mean, you had to say stuff about women, and I'm the only girl in the party, so
I have a background. It causes me trouble. You were causing trouble.
I guess I should say I'm the only one in the party that openly identifies as a female. So I digress.
Anyway, what would you guys like to do?
I'm casting Divine Sense.
Divine Sense. Let me see what you sense.
The goal is nothing, Alex. The goal is nothing.
Well, within 60 feet of you, above you, you do sense an undead presence. Seems to be emanating from the floor above you.
But that's it.
That is it. There's no fiends or celestials in here.
Cowerwolf disagrees.
Eldridge blast into the dark abyss.
Do you cast magic missile against the darkness?
I was just waiting for that.
I don't have that spell.
None of you guys have that spell.
I have that spell.
You have Eldritch Blast, but not magic missile.
I didn't know that was a spell, so
It's a wizard thing. Anyway, what would you guys like to do?
I'll point out that the carrier of the letter died for a chest that he didn't get the joy of uncovering in this room over here, and I'll indicate it.
Have the joy of taking all the poison darts. You said.
It looked to me as though the trap was fully discharged, but perhaps if you have a little more experience in that area, you could verify that.
Certainly, I can definitely try. Let me take a look.
Cool. Give me a... Oh, what relevant skill? Give me an investigation check, please, Tristan. Yeah. To the best of your knowledge, there is no trap still on this chest.
With that, I will open the chest.
Cool.
hey,
You pop it open. Inside the chest, at this time, it would probably be a good idea to assign a party treasurer if somebody's taking notes. The chest contains 3 blank books with black leather covers that look like very nice journals. You guesstimate they're worth about 25 gold pieces each. You find 3 spell scrolls, the deed to the house, the deed to a windmill, and a signed will. The will is signed by Gustav and Elizabeth Durst and bequeaths the house, the windmill, and all other family property to Rosavalda and Thornbolt in the event of their parents' deaths.
Okay. Unless someone else is taking notes, I need that a little slower.
Sorry.
I got 3 blank journals, 3 spell scrolls, deed to the house, deed to the... What?
That's all I have too. Sorry.
That's all right. Deed to the house, deed to the windmill, and then...
And a will. A signed will. The will bequeaths the house, the windmill, and all other property to the children of the two parents. The parents are Gustav and Elizabeth Durst, and the children are Rosavalda and Thornbolt Durst.
Not a third child.
There's not a third child mentioned in the will, no.
Perceptive.
That's why they pay him the big bucks.
Well, as the only person in the party who will have possibly no use at all for spell scrolls, I will pass those over to be possibly looked at.
I'll grab them very willingly.
Cool. And what were the children's names again that were listed?
Rosavalda and Thornbolt. Rose and Thorn.
Gotcha.
Oh, I see. He said it. He said the name.
You did say the names.
Roll credits.
Dun dun dun.
I'll hand Lily the blank books.
Okay, so I will have the blank books and the spell scrolls.
Well, I guess you should determine if you can use them or not. The scrolls, the spells, I mean. I don't know if you have a way of ascertaining what's on them.
Please roll
Can
an
I?
Arcana check.
So I have a lot of what
Or Arcana.
Caramel.
With a 17, Lily, you are able to determine that these are actually 3 divine magic scrolls. They are not Arcana, as you normally cast. These are spells that seem to belong to the cleric school.
Okay, so I convey that.
Do you know which spells they are?
She does not know which spells they are.
Does anyone here have any ties to the cleric school?
Give them here.
Well, hold on. Do you have a tie or not? Good sir.
Tyrion is a cleric. He has revealed that, right?
I say he does.
Okay, here.
But does he have ties? That's the character conflict.
Yeah.
Bow tie.
Bow ties.
Mine's not ties to him, whether he acknowledges them or not. That's his.
Yep.
All right, I hand the scrolls to you.
Thank you. I put them in my bag because I have no way of identifying them currently.
I was going to tell you what they are.
Oh, okay.
Has a way.
You didn't go to cleric school for 10 years to get kicked out and not know how to identify spells.
It's possible. You never know.
I think I kicked out because of that, actually.
No.
Tyrion, these 3 scrolls are a scroll of bless, a scroll of protection from poison, and a scroll of spiritual weapon.
Ooh, okay.
Protection from poison.
Better late than never, I guess.
Yep. All right. I will then put them in my bag, knowing what they are.
Nice. All of you, as he stuffs those scrolls in the bag, you do hear the baby start to cry again from the upper floor, the floor right above you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It might be the only way out of this house.
Here they kill the undead beast.
Wait, we're leaving already?
Well, not
There's
leaving.
so much in here. There could be more information in here.
Including a possible shadowy attacker.
He makes a good point.
Excellent point.
Books have information.
And information helps the dead not at all. Let's find out what's upstairs.
Lily, I hate to agree with the humans, but this is they're probably right. This is probably not the safest place to be.
All right, who's going up the stairs first?
I angrily take one book. Put it in my thing. Doesn't even matter which book. I just took a book. Put it in the back.
All right, who's going up the stairs first?
Not me.
I will go upstairs
That's
first.
helpful.
Definitely helpful.
Matthias, you ascend the stairs.
All along.
The red marble staircase delivers you to its full height, the 3rd floor. The air is choked with dust. The walls, carved with autumn woodland scenes, are mounted by unlit oil lamps. An infant's cries cut the silence into tattered chunks, while a cobweb suit of armor stands in eternal vigilance, facing the balcony railing, facing you. As you ascend to the top of the stairs, Matthias, you sort of, before you can even react, metal scrapes against wood, and a fist suddenly seizes you by the hair and slams its offhand into your jaw.
Rude.
You look about the room and see no other person, only a shifting suit of armor, and it draws back its scaled fist for another blow. And that is where we will stop this week's episode of Heroes of the Mist.
A face
Oh.
punch cliffhanger? Man.
Man.
Of course.
Rude.
Rude.
Oh, I gotta have a bloody face for like a whole week till we get back to
A whole week.
whole week of dripping blood.
I
Oh,
just like imagining everyone stuck like this for a week.
Yeah, pretty much.
The old freeze frame gets him every time.
Just like that, you became one of the Winchester boys.
Sucker punched by a suit of armor. All right, chat. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We hope to see you all back next week to reveal what continues happening in the Death House to the poor heroes of the Mist. Will they escape? Will Lancelot be the bad guy? Who knows? Tune in next week to find out. We'll have some more dice to give away, and we'll be here the same bat time, same bat channel. And I could say that because we're in Barovia now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Da-na-na-na-na.
If you guys stick around, we're going to do a raid to another channel real quick. But that's all we have this week.
All right.
Go.
What show are we raiding? Oh, and please tune in on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday we do Smuggler's Run, which is a Star Wars game that I get to play in. I never get to play. And then Thursday we have another D&D game where they are doing a version of Descent to Avernus called The Wheel of Fate. And we're just having a lot of fun here on the channel. So please come back, geek out with us, hang out on Discord, whatever you want to do. Just spend some time here in the Geek Nation with us.
Yay.
Yay, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Woo.
Thanks all.
That was the best.
Good times. Good start. Solid start.